Welcome back to NSC's weekly series spotlight. The boys in gold are coming off of a win against Houston Dynamo, and now comes one of the biggest week in Nashville SC's history as they head to Austin for US Open Cup final. We'll talk about all that and more here on Spotlight. Will, welcome back to this episode. I am feeling so good about it. How are you feeling?
I'm great. Excited to be back. Always good to see you. Always good to work with our crew and get ready for a big week. We got playoffs clinched. We got a U.S. Open Cup final. We got a couple games left, maybe a points record that's up for grabs for NSC. There's a lot to get into.
All right, well, let's get started. Let's talk about the match that just happened on Saturday, right? They played against Houston Dynamo that came here to Geodis Park, won 3-1. What momentum does this add going into playoffs?
Well, it's huge. I mean, you're the 9th club in MLS history to now make the postseason in 5 out of your first 6 years. Sam Surridge is now the all-time single-season goal leader with 27 in all competitions. You made some history here in this stadium. I think what you're most proud of, though, Liv, is the way through different phases of the game, you kind of checked a lot of boxes in terms of different game states within 190 minutes, right? You score 70 seconds into the match, so you get the quick start, 11 on 11. Then you have a red card. You got to understand, all right, how do we control the game with the ball? 11 versus 10. Then when Houston scores, heads don't drop. You're able to then play against a low block and against a Houston team that had a different game state against you. All right, we're going to sit back. We're going to let you have possession, absorb the attack, check another box. Nashville gets 2 goals in quick succession. And then the third phase, Liv, they killed the game off. Nashville managed it really, really well. They got through different areas of a game that you might have a week where you get 1 or 2 of those game states. You got all 3 in 190 minutes, and I think it's a big step forward for BJ Callaghan's team that they were able to master the flow of that game maturely and get all 3 points.
Right. Nashville SC has been a little shaky in the last few matches in their defense. What adjustments have you seen that made them successful over the weekend?
Well, I think the big thing that BJ Callaghan preaches is how do we help ourselves defensively when we are on offense, right? How do we take chances, getting up the pitch in certain moments, managing the games, and just the switching on and off, right? After restarts, after goal kicks, after throw-ins. It's the little details like that that end up making a really big difference this time of year specifically. So I think for me, it's more how Nashville has managed the game with the ball in their way to help themselves defensively. You also have the luxury, too, on Saturday in that match to get reinforcements on a little bit earlier. You don't have as many tired legs, and that's the beauty of how Nashville has now set itself up for success in the U.S. Open Cup final. By getting 2 goals quickly and giving yourself a cushion against a 10-man side, you're able to sub off Patrick Yazbek and Eddie Nahar in the 57th minute. That is critical. And we talked about that a couple weeks ago, right? When Nashville lost in Orlando, they had just had to keep all of their top players on the pitch, all their starters, late in the game against Philadelphia because they went up 2-0, then concede a goal, and at 2-1, that starts to get a little bit more dicey. You got to see that game out. You get a 3-1 lead, and then all of a sudden, you're able to coast into the next match. So Wednesday might go well for Nashville, in part because Saturday went so well and the boys in gold were able to rotate some fresh legs in there.
Certainly. Well, talking about Wednesday, this is such a huge moment for this club. They're on this stage, but it's not just for the club. It's not just for the Nashville SC fans. It's also for Tennessee. I know you grew up here. What does something like this mean for this entire state of Tennessee?
Well, it's everything. I think it's so cool how Nashville has become a pro sports city, and where a lot of people and older generations growing up in Nashville, this was a college sports town. And the fact that Nashville SC has the ability to lead the way and to be right at the forefront of winning a professional trophy as the newest club in town, the newest team in town, means a lot. It means a lot to me as a Nashvilleian and a Tennessean. I know it means a lot to fans who may not have known what soccer was 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, even when this place opened. But now you see Nashville SC bumper stickers all around Middle Tennessee. You see them in East Tennessee. The time I spent in Knoxville, I can promise you see them up there as well. So this club is so well represented in this state. There are people from West, Middle, and East who want to see this thing done.
Looking at Wednesday, looking at Austin FC, what is the one key for Nashville to take away a trophy?
Well, I think the balance of Austin FC is what jumps out when you look at them just from a statistical perspective. They have 14 different players who have scored in MLS play this season. So there's not just one main man that you have to neutralize and take away. There's a very balanced attack. So what also does that mean? It means attacking set pieces for Austin are going to be critical in this match. This Austin team, at times this season, has struggled to score. They fall 3-1 over the weekend to Real Salt Lake. The league form and the Open Cup form doesn't always match up, but sometimes it can be an indicator of where you are as a side. They've got a lot of defenders who have contributed in terms of goal contributions like Nashville. John Gallagher being one of those guys who is able to be an attacking-minded player in a defensive position, kind of their Andy Nahar or Dan Lovitz in a lot of ways. So I think that's the thing I look for in the special teams phase of the game. When we've met with BJ Callaghan this year, that's been a primary focus. Set piece coach and assistant coach John Baio, that's one of the things that he primarily focuses on. And they really feel like Nashville has a good plan put in place to win that phase of the game. But in a final, against a team that's only allowed 40 goals in MLS play this season, a lot of those have come recently too. I mean, this is one of the better defenses in Major League Soccer. One set piece goal for them could change the entire flow of the game. So I think that's the first area. Nashville's got to check that box in order to feel good about the way this game can be played on Wednesday in enemy territory in front of a raucous environment.
If Nashville SC wins, what does this say about their legacy?
Wow. I mean, it says that Chapter 6 of Nashville SC is pretty much as good as it gets at this point, right?
As good as gold.
As good as gold. I like that. I like that. No, I think you look at a moment like this, Nashville's designated players, Nashville's headliners, the players that wear the shirts that you see fans wear walking around Geodis Park have stepped up to the plate. And obviously the squad depth too. You win a tournament like the US Open Cup, it's even more meaningful, I think, Liv, to the entire squad because guys like Wyatt Meyer have incredible goals that have gotten you to this point. Brian Schwacke being the man in goal. The different faces like Matt Corcoran, like Gaston Brugman. I mean, Brugman, who's become a starter in MLS play, obviously late this season as well. It's an entire squad victory. And I think that's the thing you say is beyond just Sam Surridge's 27 goals in all competitions, Hani Mukhtar's contributions as well, and what this team was able to do here against Philadelphia in the semifinal. There's a lot of different players that have contributed to this, if this achievement happens, led by Sam Surridge. I mean, the way that Sam has led this team from the front and gotten them into this position. He hasn't done it alone by any stretch of the imagination, but the different types of goals he's scored, you look in the catalog of goals that Sam Surridge has scored this season, no two are exactly the same. And I think that's the thing with Sam's leadership, with the entire squad depth, it is a major, major success for everyone involved who's ever put a Nashville SC badge on their shirt, on their jacket, on their whatever, if NSC is able to hoist the trophy Wednesday.
Right. And lastly, I think this US Open Cup entire competition has been such a storyline of the next man up mentality that BJ Callaghan would consistently talk about throughout the season. How would you say his leadership has really embraced and empowered this team?
Well, I think in two ways. First, BJ Callaghan's motto is, let's do the things we say we're going to do. BJ Callaghan came into the season saying, we want to score 50 goals in MLS play. We want to give young players the opportunity to play. He's done exactly that. From match day one, when Wyatt Meyer and Matt Corcoran were the two defensive midfielders in his 4-2-2 against the New England Revolution. I think the other thing that they've said they were going to do is take this competition really seriously. And that's something that general manager Mike Jacobs understands, being a part of an organization at Sporting Kansas City that always really emphasized the US Open Cup. Nashville has wanted to win this competition from the very outset. And they set out to do that. They've got an opportunity to do it on Wednesday. BJ's leadership in putting together a plan that says, let's do what we say we're going to do, that empowers everyone in the team. That empowers the people in nutrition that are helping them recover. That empowers the physios that are helping keep guys healthy. It empowers the people in the business office, the people in marketing, the video team. I mean, everything. I think that's the thing that's really impressive in the kind of culture BJ Callaghan has helped create in NSC 2.0. It's not just everyone attacks, everyone defends on the pitch, right, that we talk about. It's everyone contributes to Nashville being a trophy-winning club.
I could listen to that guy speak for 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
When I'm done,
I'm ready to kick a ball and jump for a header too every time we
ready for a marathon. Ready for a marathon.
Absolutely.
Well, the boys in gold will then be heading north of the border to Canada, going to CF Montreal on Saturday, playing them back in regular season play. This is going to be one of the last matches of the regular season. What are you expecting to see? Because I know CF Montreal hasn't had the greatest season, but they have been pretty threatening at home.
They have been, and I mean, they just beat Charlotte FC 4-1, a 10-man Charlotte team who gets an early red card in the first half over the weekend. You can't let the result of Wednesday have any lasting effects on Saturday afternoon, especially considering that's a day game too, right? We're going to be talking early about this match on Saturday afternoon. So I think you start there when you evaluate this one. Secondly, there are young players in this Montreal side who are auditioning. And that sounds cliche. I promise you it is very, very much a thing this time of year. Guys like Dylan Seeley, who scored twice over the weekend against Charlotte FC, that are not only auditioning to be a part of Montreal, they're auditioning just to play in Major League Soccer. And I think there is a danger in playing sides like Montreal this late in the season who have already been eliminated, because there's nothing to lose, right? I mean, there's nothing much to gain for them in terms of a playoff perspective, but they can go for it. They can be aggressive. They can play on the front foot. Nashville's got to take advantage of that aggressiveness and the fact that Montreal will want to play an expansive, free-flowing style of football. They're not going to sit back. This is their home stadium. This is an opportunity for them to get more fans in the seats for early next season, an opportunity for a manager to establish his style of play with a lot of young, hungry soccer players. So I think Nashville's staff has done a really good job this week in telling their team, hey, if we win the U.S. Open Cup on Wednesday, there will be time to celebrate. There will be time to enjoy that. We've got a critical match in order to get home field advantage and play a lot more in front of fans in here in the MLS Cup playoffs if we are able to put a good result on the pitch in Montreal. If we lose, hey, we've got a lot more to play for. We've got MLS Cup playoffs coming up. Let's make it easier on ourselves and play in this building by winning on Saturday. There's a ton to play for in this match.
And one thing before we finish up, I know a lot of fans have asked, if Nashville SC does do well, let's say this Saturday in CF Montreal, what does that mean for playoffs? What can fans look forward to?
Well, I mean, you want to be playing here, obviously. And in the first round, you'd like to be outside of the 8-9 matchup. So 8 versus 9 in the MLS East and West play each other for the right to then play a best 2 out of 3 against the 1 seed, which looks like it's going to be Philadelphia Union. Maybe the silver lining would be getting a chance to play a team you've beaten 3 times, but let's not worry about that. Let's get home field advantage. And a top 4 spot means that you have the 2 out of 3 home games that could be played in your home building. That's a really, really big deal. Really, really big deal. It is hard to go on the road and win, especially in playoff soccer. So Saturday is a very, very big deal for Nashville SC.
All right, well, thank you so much. That was so helpful for me. That was so helpful for our fans.
Absolutely.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Spotlight. The boys in gold will be headed to Austin, Texas for a 7 p.m. kickoff. If you're in Nashville, you can catch the official watch party here at Geodis Park in the Publix Plaza, the perfect spot to cheer on the boys in gold. Then on Saturday, it's back to league play, Nashville at Montreal with the kickoff at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. You can watch it on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV or listen locally on 104.5 The Zone. Buckle up because this is the biggest week in Nashville SC history. Playoffs secured, a trophy on the line, and momentum building at just the right time. Thanks for watching this episode of Spotlight.